We do the same thing we do every Friday night, and that is party with the world and bring you all that is good, all that is golden. It is Our Reviews Will Kill You, the Party Time podcast that brings you all that good stuff and more. I am the man you may know as the host of Our Reviews Will Kill You, and we are going to have a damn good show tonight. It's going to be damn good. That's right, it is a noob-free show. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's right, bringing it to you. It's going to be, it's our safe space today. We don't have to worry about getting harassed or people saying things that are too crazy for television. Yes, it's a good time to be here, but don't worry, he may make an appearance. My co-host and co-coordinate, Noob, who is currently in the Switzerlands. He's schwitzing in the Switzerlands. It's good to see Ron Cold out there. Mr. M is already here. You are confused? You just do both. Welcome. Yes, I'm supposed to tell everybody. I guess I'm supposed to say what's on today's show. That would be good, because I frankly don't know what's on today's show, even though I wrote the whole thing myself. You'd think one would know. All right, let's try to get through this here, because we have an amazing show for you. We have Drew Barrymore is stopping her show, something I haven't talked much about, but we'll get into it, because who cares about Drew Barrymore? Blumhouse is working with Universal Studios for Halloween. And they also they've cornered the market on mazes. Last of Us mazes. I don't think there's any others out there. The Wonder Years has been canceled. Oh my God. And Winning Time also canceled. Oh my God. One Piece might go for 12 seasons. Taika Waititi Star Wars movie is dead. Cake replica of Mexican alien bodies. Oh my God. We may get a little outrageous. We're going to talk a little bit about Wild Bear and Disney. We're going to talk about London's Royal Academy getting naked. We're going to discuss a very serious problem that you and I may have. It's called Phrogging. I'm going to get in and out on Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, and Onimusha, throwback time to all those out there. They might know what that is. I remember it from being a wee child and learning a little bit about the samurais. Then I'm going to retouch on the TMNT Mutant Mayhem, because I just watched it, because it is streaming and you can catch it on Paramount Plus. I'm going to talk about Harley Quinn Season 4, and then Gamera Rebirth. The reviews are... It's a thing, something we could do together. 5-star show. It's the Z Show. That's right, the show never stops. I think we're on episode 316, and I do not believe... Noob claims we missed an episode. I'm going to say we didn't. But yeah, this train's been rolling for a long time, folks. So thanks for hanging out with us. We're hitting some pretty amazing milestones, if you hadn't noticed. Things are happening. We're getting noticed, baby. We broke 750,000 views. That is, in my mind, quite a milestone. Almost 1 million. We're creeping up on 1 million. We might have to have a pretty major party if we break 1 million. Whoever thought that this show with one idiot and a New York Times award-winning, best-selling, well, not best-selling, but New York Times award-winning author would bring this show together, bringing our news, views, and all that fun stuff together. We also broke 1,300 subscribers. We're getting there. We're doing things. About to bring home the bacon real soon, and hopefully we can put a little bit back into the show for you guys. You know we love doing our giveaways and all that other good stuff. Maybe we'll have some merch again. That would be a good thing to have. But... for now, we shall move on to the housekeepings.
Housekeeping, you want me to
Yes. since I was alone, I think I was alone on all of these videos. I do all of them myself. And yeah, we're talking about Ahsoka being jailbait. Essentially what had happened was all of the Star Wars shills out there went out in force and attacked all of us. Anybody who reviewed the show, they just attacked, calling us idiots and morons. And we just, Noob helped me do this video because we decided to troll those guys a little bit. And I think it went over pretty well. It's a good video. You know, Obi-Wan has some important things to say about Ahsoka. And I think you should check it out because it was eye-opening to me. I think it was our first time watching it all the way through. We'd never actually seen the entire thing. So it was something. All right. But those Star Wars guys, they're going real hard. It's very bizarre, very curious as to what's going on. They have this jingling keys effect, and well, I'm not saying Ahsoka is like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's pretty poorly written. So, anywho, I did my own review on Gamera because apparently I'm one of the few people in the world who's not Japanese who likes Gamera, the giant turtle who likes to save children. See what AI does for me is playing his little guitar. That's right, Gamera's playing a little guitar, and I review the whole season. It's 6 episodes. It's a little more in depth than what I'm going to do tonight, so I hope you check that one out as well. We also have me reviewing Elon Musk in Star Wars because somebody didn't get... I don't understand. I don't know if you follow the culture wars at all. At one point, Jordan Peterson was the Red Skull. Well, now Grand Admiral Thrawn is Elon Musk. A little heavier, but the guy looks like Elon Musk. I don't know what they're doing. They have a new big bad in Star Wars. His name's Grand Admiral Thrawn. I would assume most people don't know that unless they've read some books or watched a cartoon. So I'm sure everybody's confused. Why is Blue Elon Musk in Star Wars? I myself am confused. It took them 6 episodes to introduce the big bad. Not good. And then I wanted to give back and share a little bit about myself and my background and the things I like. I'm not like the world's biggest collector, but I do love me some Godzilla. You will see me wear Godzilla hats. I have Godzillas. I have like 30 Godzilla action figures, whatever you want to call them, in the background. They're out there partying, chilling. We actually did a really cool Godzilla short, which I think we'll release when Godzilla -1 gets a little bit closer. But Toho, which is the owner of Godzilla, opened up a USA shop. And I mean, if you're a little bit of a Godzilla fan, it's worth checking out because this is like rare Japanese stuff that you can get. I know it's not for everybody, but I figured to share a little bit. So, see how that goes. That was all in housekeeping. Been a little late in the news there, folks. And there's a couple of subjects that we're just not covering because, you know, do I really want to talk about Russell Brand? I don't know. I don't necessarily have an opinion on it. While I don't dislike Russell Brand, I find the timing of his accusation strange. I just am not really into talking about it. And we will go into some other things that we haven't been covering, but mostly this show is about taking you out of the real world and letting you have a little bit of fun as opposed to digging into all that real world stuff and just poking fun at everything we possibly can. So that being said, let's jump in. How deep? How deep does the pool go? That's for me to know. And for you to find out as we go into the news is breaking news. Let's see if I can actually get this. Let's go. Drew Barrymore. Now we haven't talked a lot about this at all. The strike, the big writer and actor strike, which the only thing I care about is the fact that they're not creating anything. But is this the Great Purge? Is this the Great Awakening? Are we no longer... We're not really getting any new... there's going to be a big gap of, new material, new movies, new stuff, because they decided to fight over AI and stuff and money and wages, I suppose. Oh, that's not the right button. Anyway, Drew Barrymore decided she thought she could sneak back in and do her stupid talk show called The Talk, which I've never heard of and don't care about. Drew Barrymore, if you don't know who she is, she was the little girl from E.T. who grew up to marry Tom Green. And if you don't know who Tom Green is, he's the guy who decided to milk a cow with his mouth. He had a TV show back in MTV era, peak MTV era, where many people think about like Jackass, but weirder and Canadian. So anyway, Drew Barrymore, who made all of her money as an actress, made lots of money as an actress and has subsequently decided to retire. You may know her from such films as Charlie's Angels and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. So we know she has some money, but she needs more money, so she needed a talk show. So she decided to come back amidst the strike while people were picketing, and she snuck in anyway. And yeah, that's like a thing. It's pretty funny because Bill Maher also decided to come back, and then they all were like, "No, we're with the writers," and so they're not doing their shows anymore. There's no way Noob Noob went to the writer's strike because Noob Noob doesn't know how to do anything like that. That's too difficult for him. Noob Noob has like literally no idea how to write anything. In fact, there he is right there. Look, he's still in the show. And if you ever want Noob Noob's opinion on anything, that's it right there. He likes everything. And I also brought a little jump of Godzilla with us. So I thought it was amusing. It's even funny that they say the actress announced last weekend the Drew Barrymore show would be returning amid the strike. Drew Barrymore, well, first of all, I can't remember the last time she acted, but I think she was in that like 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler. Yes. Exactly. The man, he who shall not be named. So yeah, these Hollywood idiots, they're pretty funny. It's kind of a thing. They're doing stuff and things and being foolish about it. We can move on from that to see something a little less foolish. How excited is everybody for Halloween? I know it's a little early, but I think I posted a picture of going to Home Depot, and hell yeah, they have decorations up. Get your directions often and early. See, look, Noob Noob is contributing to the show about as much as he usually does, except for this time he actually looks like he's awake instead of asleep. But Blumhouse, man, Jason Blumhouse must be a billionaire because he's got all those movies that he has, like, they have micro budgets. They're like 30 million and 20 million and 10 million. And then he makes like $100 million. The guy is a master of, you want to talk to somebody who knows how to make money, talk to this guy, because now he's teaming up. And I think he's been teaming up with Halloween Horror. But I feel like this is going to be the best Halloween in a long time. I feel like the past couple Halloweens, something's been an obstacle. Something's been a little bit of an obstacle. And I feel like people are going to go a little more all out. I can't tell you how many 20-foot skeletons I've been seeing all over the place. The unhinged ramblings of a madman. Yes. You get the unhinged ramblings of just mostly not just a drooling idiot. You get a raving lunatic. So you get both sides. So they've put together a whole bunch of stuff that you can go check out. Now, am I going to go to... Isn't Halloween Nights, isn't that a Great Adventure or something? It being a great adventure scares me more than actually the scariness. I'm not sure how I feel about any of that. They have a stunt show. This is ridiculous. Called The Purge Dangerous Waters. What is... Live action performers, platforms, the $450 million. The Purge is $450 million franchise. Who knew? Oh, survey questions. Should Noob Noob dress up Let's try it. Let's see if we can do a poll. So the new poll, we've had a question from the chat to see if Ron Cold says we should do a poll. Let's see if I can do this. Ask a question. Can I type though? Should noob I'm going to say noob dress as Barbie? I have had Kenough. Yes. Dress as Barbie for Halloween. We did have another poll out there, and I wish Doc was here to talk about it, because Doc started the whole thing where they had a competition over the stupid movie that I'm gonna review a little bit later, and it cost Doc a jersey, cost him a Dallas jersey. Well, the player that Noob got injured for the season. So the question was, is Noob a jinx or is he a hero? I guess it depends on what team you're rooting for, but yeah, I thought that was kind of amusing. I'm definitely as buff as Kenough, and that would be Kenough is Kenough. I can't believe, I guess they readapted the Water World show for this Purge Dangerous Waters. Like, it's funny. They just take the same stunt show and plaster a different name on it. That's kind of amusing. There have been 5 Purge movies and a spin-off TV show. Who knew? But they have something else that I thought was pretty interesting. They have a Last of Us maze. And I'm a big fan of haunted mazes. I think they're pretty cool. And I guess I don't see, is Blumhouse connected to this, or am I just connecting 2 unrelated stories? Interesting. But either way, this is from IGN, showing us a little bit of that mushroom action, those creepy crawly mushrooms. Universal Halloween Horror Nights Orlando 2023 is going to bring you a haunted house based on Naughty Dog's Last of Us. Is it based on the video game, or is it based on the TV show? I am confused. The only thing I can think that was real scary about the TV show is being trapped in a house with those 2 men for a long time, craving the touch of another man. New must be a bad influence because, I don't usually make those jokes. Anyway, Last of Us, it all started with a tweet. Neil Druckmann is involved. I guess he just wants to make more money. Everyone hates Neil Druckmann. It's got to strike that right tone. I mean, I would go to it. I think it would be cool. Walk around and have, zombie mushroom people chase you. Sure. It looks a little exaggerated, like the houses don't, because the whole world of Last of Us is pretty like real world, and this looks like a little haunted housey, but that's cool. Oh, they don't have any F-bombs, and I guess, I don't know, they have dialogue or something. I am sure you can go on YouTube and take a live tour and see how that works out, because, but it's cool. Maybe. Oh, so it's Universal Orlando that's Halloween thing. I would go check that out. I think I'm considering doing that if I ever get any money and cannot, get an actual house and not live inside of or do podcasts inside of someone else's house. That being said, I think it's time we talk about some cancellations, because they're always sad, right? People don't like being canceled. Some people do. Some people live to be canceled. Let's see. I wonder how many people. I feel like this poll is going to be. It's going to be all the votes are going to swing one way. I feel like that's a thing. But let's talk about the cancellations. If you didn't know it was there, you probably didn't know it existed. The Wonder Years canceled after 2 seasons. I can't believe it got past 1 season. ABC has opted not to proceed with the 3rd season of the Wonder Years. I suspect that this strike is allowing Hollywood talk about the Purge to purge all of this stuff that they don't want, that they felt were pushed on them. Or, you know what I mean? Like things that they, Like, yeah, we don't really need this. Inspired by the 1988 series of the same name, The Wonder Years tells the story of the Williams family during the late 60s. The series is narrated through the point of view of an imaginative 12-year-old Dean as he navigates growing up in a black middle-class family in Montgomery, Alabama, and the friendship, laughter, and lessons learned along the way. I mean, I never watched The Wonder Years. I kind of remember it about him trying to like, it's about that guy trying to kiss a girl. What's his name? He was in The Princess Bride. I think that's the same kid. I don't know. I never watched it enough to care. Fred Savage, that guy. He was the executive producer and director for the first season. Then he was fired when he got Me Too'd. Very sad. Very sad indeed. Well, the funnier cancellation is a show I started to watch and then immediately stopped watching. Winning Time on HBO gets canceled. And it actually, they're claiming that because it got canceled at the time that it did, it's even better than what it was. First of all, the ratings on it couldn't have been good because no one cared. The show was just mediocre. What's hilarious about the show itself, this is the show that destroyed the relationship between Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. For those of you who don't know, I don't know that Adam McKay did Elf, but I do know that he did Step Brothers. So those guys had like a long 15-year partnership. I think they even had businesses together. And because Adam McKay did not cast Will Ferrell in this TV show as Jim Buss, who owned the Lakers, they dissolved all their companies together and he won't work with them ever again, which I think is pretty hilarious. And what's funny about the show getting canceled, because it's about when the Lakers were very good, I guess, and they were winning a bunch of titles, and only people from LA would care about this, and they don't even care about basketball, so that's a little confusing. Maybe you want to be Jerry West. I don't really remember who played which character, because there's like a lot of famous people in it. And it doesn't talk about Adam McKay. But anyway, it gets canceled on them losing to the Celtics, which I think is hilarious. That's like the end of the season and end of the show, period, is that the Lakers lose. You bunch of losers. Yeah, and apparently the only person who was promoting the show was the author of the book. But I mean, who's going to promote the show? It's not that good. It's not that interesting. No one cares. I don't care. Like I said, I tried to watch the first season. And I think I made it through like 3 episodes. And I was like, oh my God, this is so masturbatory. Like, what are we doing here? Incredibly, it was just like boring. Don't care. Rather would watch reality TV. Unscripted reality TV. But you know what a good show was that is making waves and could last forever, apparently, according to the people who are producing the show? That would be One Piece. One Piece to unite them all. That's right, One Piece has been renewed for 2 seasons. How the producers hint that it might cover the entire manga in 12 seasons. Those kids will all be in like their 50s by the time this is done. After 2 weeks, it got renewed for season 2. The popular manga by Ichiro Oda features the adventures of the young pirate Monkey D. Luffy, who aspires to be the Pirate King. Well, apparently, and I know there's something about like One Piece where it's like the longest running anime ever. It might have more episodes than Dragon Ball Dizzle. I'm not 100% sure, but they claim they have a roadmap on how to split up into 6 seasons, but they would like to go as far as 12 if Netflix deems it worthy. We hope we have 12 seasons. There's over 1,080 chapters of the manga. I have no idea how many episodes of the anime there are. apparently the first season of One Piece doesn't even fully adapt the East Blue saga. And let's see here. I guess they're just saying you can catch it on Crunchyroll. I wish that, you know, if I wrote this article, and I'm too lazy to write an article like this, I would have told people how many episodes there were and how One Piece is considered like the marathon of anime, because, you know, it's like in the top 10 or top 5 greatest animes of all time from sheer staying power. Not really to much else. Not that it's not a bad story, but I think it's a little wild. You know, another thing that is potentially canceled, but might not be canceled, but could be canceled. Apparently, Taika Waititi has, well, okay, the real report is that his Star Wars thing is dead. He's supposed to have a Star Wars movie, which makes no sense. But I went to this article on CBR just to show you like what shill media has to say, because clearly somebody fed them this line that Taika Waititi has turned in multiple drafts of his Star Wars movie script to Lucasfilm. Do you know how many Lucasfilm movies have been announced and not actually filmed? They literally just released another one where apparently Guillermo del Toro and I think it's David S. Goyer were supposed to do. You know, Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do a Star Wars movie. Yeah, good luck with that. Many people are reporting that Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie has been scrapped. And if you listen to an actual, there was a, he was at some, he was honoring Sean Levy at the TIFF Tribute Awards, and he referenced them. They have competing Star Wars projects with some guy. And he goes, unlike me, let's hope he manages to finish a script for that. Because he's joking about how long it's taken him to do anything. He's not doing it. So he says he hasn't finished a script, but somebody else with the hot mic, Jeff Schneider, is reporting it's not dead. He's turned in multiple drafts, even though he was joking that he hasn't turned in anything or finished the script. And if you watch the actual interview of Taika Waititi, he doesn't seem real interested. He's like, yeah, that Star Wars project I'm going to finish. Like, no, it's not really going to do that. There are 5 other Star Wars movies in development. And do you know how many of those are probably going to get made? I'm going to guess 1, maybe 2. Are you super interested in a James Mangold Star Wars that explores the birth of the Force? No, thank you. Or Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy directing Rey Skywalker as she reestablishes the Jedi Order? Yeah, not super interested in that. What about Dave Filoni trying to finish his stupid Thrawn thing, which is like the worst ratings in all? Apparently, Ahsoka is rated worse than Bluey on Disney Plus. Sad, very sad. Lando apparently is no longer a TV series. It's gonna be a movie. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Donald Glover will be 80 years old by the time that it gets. He'll be as old as Lando is now. It's very sad. Very sad. And then a final bit of news we're going to talk about, and I feel like this is Ron Cold's story. We did not talk about the alien bodies that were shown to Mexican Congress. I think we mentioned it, but we didn't actually do anything with it. But apparently, it's all been faked, because those aliens that you may have seen, the truth is out there. The aliens are made of cake. Suspected alien corpse turns out to be a cake. Very sad. What are you going to do? And this, obviously, this is just a troll, but I think the guy did a pretty good job of revealing that the aliens are revealed to be cake. Oh, come on, you're supposed to cut the thing up, man. There we go. Yeah, he cuts right into the head and he cuts it off. He's like, it's cake. Is it cake? Apparently, those aliens were cake. Very, very crazy. What a world we live in when aliens are cake. For those of you who aren't aware of the story, For some reason, these like quote unquote 1,000-year-old preserved bodies of aliens were presented to the Mexican Congress. I don't know. World's a little bit bananas out there, folks. I can't necessarily describe exactly what's going on, but it's a thing. Aliens are cake. This could almost be an outrage. It's not quite an outrage, but it's pretty close. Because it's time. Is it outrage? This is outrageous. Is that outrage? The AP News is reporting that a wild black bear was at Disney World. It was captured. Wonder what rides it went on. Do you think it went on the Song of the South? I don't know. It's a question that you have to answer with your own heart. Apparently, it was not an escapee for the County Bear Jamboree attraction. No, it did not play the banjo. It was just hanging out in Frontierland, Liberty Square, and Adventureland. Staffers with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission were at the park. They attempted to relocate it. I'm going to say one of two things happened. They either shot it or they fed it to a bunch of pythons. Because that's all you get in Florida at this point is just pythons everywhere. Sometimes some alligators. Apparently there are 4,000 black bears that live in Disney. I think that's... At least it didn't eat anybody like the alligator ate that kid. Reminder, folks, if you're from another state or another country and you go to Disney World, don't swim in the lakes. It's not safe. Not at all. This one, going to London, you better bring your birthday suit, because if you want to see some art, apparently you got to squeeze through some nudes. So this part of the show is probably not for the faint of heart. Be careful. What you may see may offend you. Who knows? But if you visited the Royal Academy of Arts, you must squeeze between nude performers at an exhibition which includes a naked woman pinned to a crucifix pose and 3 women sitting for 24 hours a day over 12 days drinking only water. None of that sounds like art or fun. I mean, if you can't touch the art, what kind of art is it? The exhibition is curated by controversial artist Marina Abramovic, who previously invited visitors to slash her throat and scooped fake blood from naked woman's body with Lady Gaga. Those all sound like things that I am not super interested in. Wow. This is pretty weird. So the 76-year-old's previous work includes Rhythm O, where she placed 72 objects, including a bullet, gun, scalpel, and metal bar on a table, and invited visitors to interact with her however they wished, resulting in a loaded gun being held to her head. You deserve it. Wow. This is I don't see how this is art and why anybody would pay for this. I certainly wouldn't pay for it. Mix of I don't understand. Like, look at how uncomfortable this is. You have to squeeze past these nude people. Why are these people agreeing to do this? I don't want to be touched by weird naked people. It's that age-old question from Fight Club. Do you give them the crotch or do you give them the butt? Which way do you go? And who do you give it to? Do you turn with butt facing the man, crotch facing the woman? Do you go, if you're a dude, you go crotch to crotch? This chick looks real uncomfortable. I'm surprised they didn't make you go naked while you go through it. They wouldn't show the part. I don't see any pictures of the naked crucifix woman. Let's see here. But this chick is pretty weird. She's a Serbian artist. Very pretentious. She has puffy sleeves. I don't trust anyone with giant puffy sleeves. Oh, this is where she's scooping out fake blood from a naked woman's body with Lady Gaga. Yup, that's a thing. So bizarre. Why anyone is agreeing to do this, I don't know. Well, that's all outrageous. But what I really wanted to, this next part is a little bit more of a PSA because, you know, we're looking out for people, and as someone who has experienced going into other people's houses and doing podcasts, you might need to know how to tell if someone is phrogging you. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the Academy Award movie Parasite, which I highly recommend, it is a fantastic movie, you too can become the victim of phrogging. How to tell if someone is living inside your home. This is from Brinks. Learn about the latest home break-in trend. You and I will find out about this together because I have done no in-person research. I don't know anything about breaking into people's houses and conducting podcasts. But phrogging, pronounced phrogging, is when someone secretly lives in another person's home without their knowledge. The name comes from the idea of leapfrogging, with the intruder hopping from place to place like a frog, whether it's someone's basement or attic or crawl space. This is just to sell more stuff or like more security, isn't it? While squatters occupy abandoned properties, phroggers may instead target well-to-do vacation homes that are left empty while their owners are away, or even primary residences that are unoccupied while the residents are on vacation. This sounds like a Pauly Shore movie from the 90s. How to tell if someone is in your home. Are you ready for this? I have some very, very good tips straight from the security professionals. You may hear strange noises. Things have a tendency to go bump in the night, from creaky stairs to floorboards to tree branches hitting your windows. But if there are frequent unfamiliar sounds, even in the daytime, it may be time to investigate. And maybe anything from the sound of a loud thump to the tinkling of breaking glass to low music. Oh. Someone may have caught on to us. You may notice that some things are missing or moved. Your pets are on high alert. You feel as if you are being watched. I don't think that's a thing. You can't just be like, oh, somebody's watching me. That's not like a real thing, right? You can't just do that. How to tell if someone tried to break into your home. They say open front doors or windows, forced entry. Somebody left the lights on, somebody else's belongings. See, if you had a security system installed, you would know if someone was inside your house. But guess what? You don't. And you would never know if someone was doing a podcast inside your home. You just can't tell because we're just that good. And the podcast is that good. They don't want it to end. That's right. Our reviews will kill you forever. 99 years, 9 million episodes. We're only like a quarter of the way there, like a third of the way there. Not even. Nah, more like an eighth. Anyway, I believe it is time to get out of this person's home and maybe into your home if you have a podcast studio that we can use. But it's time to get in and out. Get in and get out. Apparently this week, not this weekend, next weekend, I happened to be going to the movie theater and I saw signs for this, and then I was supposed to watch the trailer, which I did not. And it has Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, and I thought, I was pretty sure Noob Noob wanted to see this, so I'm not going to see this. I'm out on this, but I did hear that somebody famous was in it, and I think she was in the first movie, and maybe that's why she's getting a second appearance. The cast in order. What's her name? She's somebody like annoyingly famous. It's not Chris Rock. It's not Tyler Perry. It's not Jimmy Kimmel. It's not James Marsden. Oh, Kim Kardashian as Kim Kardashian West. Uh-oh. Didn't she get divorced? Pretty sure she doesn't have that. And her daughter, Northwest and Saint West. Yes. Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. Canadians on the double. So, yeah. I don't know why anybody would care that she was in this, but you can watch it. She's in it. It's the thing. But I'm out on it, but I feel like many of you in our audience might be in on it. The other thing that I'm super in on, and this is from Capcom, Onimusha. Now, what I didn't know about Onimusha, and it makes sense now that I read a little bit of this article here, is that, well, first of all, it's going to be a Netflix anime. And you know me, I'm watching the animes. But this anime is directed by iconic director Takashi Miike. It's going to drop on November 2nd. The game is around historical Japanese stories mixed with supernatural elements. It was intended to be a Resident Evil shoot-off, but got its own narrative. I remember an Onimusha 3 that was really good, but I don't remember what you do in the game. I vaguely remember collecting souls and upgrading like some sort of power gauntlet. It says here, the protagonist has the ability to absorb Genma souls from defeated enemies. With each kill, these souls help restore your health, infuse power in weapons and armor, and provide power for the elemental attacks of those special weapons. I remember you could switch weapons, which I think is pretty cool. So, Onimusha series has sold a total of 8.6 million units worldwide. It's Capcom's 9th best-selling franchise. I think this is ripe for some good times. We'll catch up with you, Mr. M. Good to see you. We'll hear you on the flip side. I guess I'm in. I'm in on Onimusha. I'm in all the way. I'm going deep because this is something that reminds me of my childhood. Probably nostalgia bait, but I'm hoping that it'll be good. And with that being said, it is time to get to the reviews. That's right. It's review time. Look how the time flies when there's no noob. No noobs. No time. We'll bring him back. So he gave a review of this, and I just wanted to give my own review of this. He absolutely hated this movie. And I'm going to say it was fine. It wasn't great. I'll say in the beginning, it was pretty jarring. The animation was kind of annoying for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Oh, and it says that at 84%. I mean, it's really unique visual style. Like, I don't know. It just looked cheap. Like, all right, this is okay. Nothing exciting. Nothing spectacular. I don't know. They were too young and they weren't very good at what they were doing. And the whole April thing was kind of stupid, but I mean, I don't know. It didn't seem like the actual Ninja Turtles, but it was okay. It wasn't as bad as everyone made it out to be. And it was, I guess if you're like a hardcore Ninja Turtle fan, you're like, this isn't really the Ninja Turtles. And as far as personality wise, like, people were like, oh, they had personalities. I mean, they weren't like great personalities. Like, Raph likes to beat things up. That's his personality trait. Donatello does nothing. Michelangelo has a high-pitched voice, I think. And Leo likes the girl. Like, they didn't have like great personalities. There's a lot of screaming over top of each other. But it was fine. Like, I wouldn't give it an A. I'd give it maybe like a B-. So it was okay. I finished it. I was planning on not finishing, especially in the first like 20 minutes. I was like, this is too jarring. The animation's real like kind of choppy and weird. But by the end, it was fine. It was okay. Ice-T was in it. It's kind of cool. And then, spoiler alert. they're like, oh, all the reviews were like, this is how you'll do the Ninja Turtles without the Shredder. Let's make it so great. There's no Shredder. Guess what? They're going to bring the Shredder in. So, what are you going to do? What you gonna do? Let's talk about Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, the series on HBO, the animated series, so good that they keep having more of it. I cannot tell you how many people commented on my shorts about the picture of, yeah, I get it. The Rocket is a cock and balls. We get that. We get it. It doesn't make any sense to me either, because Harley and Ivy are lesbians and they don't need any cock and balls. So why are they riding a cock and balls? It's not like they're having three-ways or anything. Just saying. This is a little surprising to me, though, but season 1 was at 89%. Season 2 was at 100%. Season 3 at 100%. And season 4, 94%. I found it to be... Ooh, the audience has it at 78%. I thought this season was better than the previous season because the previous season didn't have any Bane in it. So I'll take more Bane every day of the week. 86%. So it seems like it's dipping in quality. It was okay. It was... I could see why people would be annoyed with this particular season because most of it is Ivy being a girl boss because she becomes the CEO of the Legion of Doom. So she takes over like the Doom base and she's doing all the girl boss stuff. So it was kind of annoying for a little while. But at least Harley like joins the Bat family, which I thought was interesting. So then you don't have Ivy like the previous season was just Ivy making out with Harley the entire time, but not in like a fun way, in like an annoying way. And then this season, they weren't really together. They were fighting, they're doing things separately, finding their own way. So, and they reunited for a couple episodes. Bane's great pasta making story arc has been finally resolved. I'm Bane, and I am the second greatest pasta maker in the world. So Bane is one of the best characters in it. The Joker is not in it enough. Gets humiliated. So it's weird. It's cool. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but like it was better than last season for me. Because I think one of the seasons I was like, I can't even watch this anymore. It was so bad. So first couple seasons were good. This one, I mean, if you keep watching it, you like it, good for you. It's fine. It's fine. I keep saying things are fine. And then we'll talk about Gamera Rebirth. Come on, people. We can't be the only people to review this. I know we bring you some obscure stuff, folks. So this is the only place you're gonna hear about it. We're gonna hear people ranting about things like Gamera, a giant turtle who saves children. A flying turtle kaiju begins protecting a group of kids from numerous attacks by giant monsters. Okay, I like giant monsters fighting other giant monsters. I don't know why you got a problem with that. What's the big deal? I like giant monsters fighting giant monsters. Why don't you like giant monsters fighting giant monsters? It's based kind of on the style of Godzilla's Singularity. Wait, was it Single Point? The recent Godzilla anime. Godzilla Singularity. What the heck was that called? Anyway, I enjoyed it. I like Gamera. The only thing you have to brace yourself for a Gamera show is very violent. Loses his arms, gets stabbed all the time. The kids in this are dropping F-bombs left and right. So it's a little shocking. It's kind of like Stand By Me, with the kids doing a thing, except instead of finding a dead body, they find a giant turtle and monsters that want to eat them. So take the camaraderie and the growth and the leeches and the conflict of being a young person and being confused by your emotions and maybe puberty and stuff like that. and then just throw in giant monsters, especially a giant turtle. I thought it was good. Gamera smashes everything, and it's pretty awesome. So I recommend it. You don't have to watch it. We watched it for you. I gave you the plot. You like giant monsters. You like Pacific Rim. You can catch this. And I guess that wraps it up. That's like a whole show right there. It goes so much smoother and so much faster without someone torturing me the entire time. That's what we do. We got a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. We do have a giveaway coming up. We have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So you can get yourself a digital copy of that. We're getting real close to crossing the threshold. We're crossing the point of no return where we're going to be, hopefully, knock on wood, joining the monetization trail on YouTube. So we appreciate you getting us to that point. Keep on watching. We need the watch time. You're going to get a lot more videos from us. We may take a week off. We may try to pre-record some stuff for you. I'm going to try not to. I have some things I need to do. But we will keep you informed. It's going to be in October, maybe in about 3 weeks. But we're not 100% sure yet. We're going to try to run through some stuff. Maybe we'll do some looking back. Probably not. But maybe. You never know. Maybe it'll just be a soundboard. Who knows what it's going to be? But anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's always a nice breather, fresh air when you don't get the noob. But stay tuned. We'll be back next week. I don't know what we're reviewing. I feel like there's some stuff we'll be watching. Maybe the Expendables. Who knows? But either way, stay safe out there. Have fun. We're getting ready for Halloween. Maybe we'll release some more Halloween videos. If you do, look it up. We have a movie. It's not really a movie. It's a short, but it's called Gnome Alone. It's a lot of fun. Guaranteed to tickle your pink if you like gnomes and if you're scared of them. But from all of us here at Our Views Will Kill You, to all y'all at home, we love y'all, but I'm on to the next one.